but it show no mercy.
I fixed it. Let's see if I can do that. We can't do this one-handed though. Hard as hell. Sensitive.
It's time to teach those arrogant fucks. Come on.
Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we will be doing a brief demonstration of the AE light gun being used on the Xbox One for light gun compatibility. Now, some of you have asked questions, some of you have made comments and said that this is somehow maybe misinformation or whatever the case might be. We'll get into that, but this is an AE light gun. It has approximately 10 buttons on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And so this uses infrared tracking technology. I have an LED sensor at the top. I'm using the one that's very similar to the Dolphin bar. I've gotten better response in a tight area on that one as opposed to my standalone infrared sensors. But if you guys are familiar with Gun4 IR and other guns out there using infrared technology, it works pretty much the same way. However, this particular gun registers mouse movements and keyboard inputs. So really shouldn't come as a surprise to you that this works with an Xbox One, because it does support mouse and keyboard functions for a number of games that are out there. Now, I did get this set up with originally Gears of War 4. Wasn't fully compatible with the things that I wanted it to do. However, there are approximately 4, maybe 5 games that I know of that can take advantage of this technology. Now, I will say that because of the sensitivity of this light gun, it's not fully there yet, and keep in mind that this is not geared for consoles. However, this is made for basic light gun retro gaming. However, it can be used, but it's really sensitive. I mean, even the slightest little move will send this thing haywire all over the place. And I have turned down all of my mouse settings in game, and I've turned it down in the console, and it still has rapid fluidity all over the place. So but I'll show you guys how you get this typically set up. But this isn't brand new. In fact, there was other previous technology in the market years ago. If you guys are familiar with the Delta 6 light gun, my buddy Glazin, who is also on the Chronos Zen team, he had the Delta 6 years ago, and so he did a brief demonstration you guys can see here on the screen of the Delta 6. Now, the difference between that gun versus the AE light gun is the AE light gun is a fully dedicated light gun made for your basic light gun shooters. However, the Delta 6 was made to move around using a Chronos Max or Chronos Zen, and it has Xbox type buttons on there, X, Y, B, and A, and it was made for first-person shooters. So really surprising, a lot of people, when I showed them the video and the clips, they weren't fully aware that you can use light gun technology to play first-person shooter games. Operates a little differently because, as you guys know, when you use a light gun game, you can shoot at different points on the screen. However, with a light gun, using it with first person, you typically have your center of screen, and then you're kind of just moving left and right. Now, you can move left and right and all over the place looking around, but you just don't have that pinpoint accuracy like typically you should, unless you're using a sniper rifle. But it is there, and as technology grows, you guys will see a little bit more of this. But again, right now there are roughly about 4 or 5 games I can think of that can be used with this and this function. You have Halo 5. I'm sorry, not Halo 5. Well, you have the Halo games for the Xbox One, Halo Infinite. You also have Fortnite, Gears of War 5, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So all of these will respond to mouse and keyboard inputs. If you do play a mouse and keyboard input type game on the Xbox One, it can take advantage of this technology. Now, just to also let you guys know, I did talk to Arpeg Electronics, got a little bit more information from that in terms of the Gun 4 IR. I am picking up one of those later this week. I will be doing testing, but the Gun 4 IR should also work very similar technology, and I will be picking up, I think they're the Samco guns with the recoil. So we'll see exactly how those plug and play with the Xbox One as well as the pedal. So I want to see how the pedal works, and Ray said that the pedal uses a keyboard type input, so I don't see why that won't respond either to the Xbox One. Now, are those all ideal typically for first person shooters? Well, it depends on how you use it, because the thing is, a lot of these games that we're playing with first person shooters, there's just way too many interactions and stuff to really get comfortable with it. But we want to definitely see that if it is possible, yeah, you can use it, and it is possible and capable of doing it, which is what you guys are going to see here. Additionally, with this, it only takes a few minutes to set up, but the AE Lightgun for the Xbox was really hard to calibrate because of how the sensor is located. As you guys can see, I'm moving here right now. The best way that I did this was to have this fully set up with the Windows Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge. That way I can see the cursor and then pinpoint and then kind of calibrate it there. Now, this will support games that have fully keyboard and mouse input availability. So if you guys are familiar with like Gears of War and other Halo type games, if you see the mouse cursor in the middle of the screen, that means this will work. Is it ideal? Just depends on you. But yes, this technology does work. And as you can see here, let me go ahead and pull up my other camera here because I don't want you guys to miss any part of this. As you can see, my Chronos Zen, Chronos Max, and Titan 2 adapters are right here. I have nothing up my sleeves, and over here, as you can see, there's my other Chronos Max, and we are running directly into the Xbox without any gaming adapters. This is a simple plug and play, fully compatible, as it should be. If you guys are familiar with mouse and keyboard settings, you move up and left and right and turn around and do everything that you need to do with your mouse and keyboard. This is all PC 101. If you guys have been playing Doom since 1994 or 1995, whenever it came out, you guys are all familiar with this setup. So the first thing I'm going to do is, now for some of the games, I will be using my keyboard, or not my keyboard, but my joystick just to move around in simplicity. You can move around with the AE Lightgun, but the sensitivity is just way through the roof. And before I forget, I did talk to Andy, the developer. He said that was one of the primary goals of the AE Lightgun. They didn't spend too much more time on it, was to get this to work on consoles. So this is more or less just a plug and play compatibility. It's not rocket science. But that was one of the discovered features I found out a few weeks ago playing around with the AE Lightgun. But there was also supposed to be a toggle switch that would allow you to toggle the speed and some other settings here. They didn't get into full development with that, but however, that was one of the capabilities, was being able to fully use this on the Xbox as it should. Now, I did ask Andy if there's a way to turn down the sensitivity in here to get better accuracy as far as turning around and stuff. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but we're going to show you the proof of concept that it is possible, so let's go ahead and get into it. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to pull up Gears of War, and one of the other settings that are in the game, actually we're going to go to settings or devices and connections, and we have a setting called mouse. I don't know why this one's turned up. We're going to turn it all the way down. And then of course you have another option there for switch, primary, and secondary mouse buttons. So I'll just go ahead and leave that as it is. Then of course now I'm going to go ahead and start Gears of War 5. Now, in terms of mouse movements and moving around with the mouse and keyboard, I don't know how anybody plays Gears of War with the mouse and keyboard. In fact, And so the biggest difference between these two is we have the controller scheme. We don't need to mess around with these. We have game, we got video, and we have mouse settings. So as you can see, this one allows you to do mouse settings. I have everything turned down, but no matter what, the sensitivity for the AE Lightgun is just through the roof. I do have mouse smoothing on. That'll help just a little bit. And then of course we have key binding. So this is where we want to focus our attention. We have key bindings here. This is where I want to dedicate any of my keys. So if I want to have, let me turn this down here. If I want to have any of the movement on the gun, I could, but that's not really ideal, even though I can assign some buttons to the gun because there's enough for movement. That's not typically ideal. So what I want to do is go ahead and assign my shooting buttons. Roadie run, you know what? Let's go ahead and make this a roadie run. I'll make it the top button here. And the cool thing about this menu is it lets you know that if you've already assigned a button, then it won't let you exit out unless you got that taken care of. All right, so shooting, let's do mouse 1. All right. And let's see, aim, I want to change that. I'm going to make that this little button here. So you guys will have to mind me for this video, even though I have the GoPro set up behind me recording. Only got 2 hands here. Let's see, reload. I'm going to go ahead and program it to this. And I'm going to leave the other buttons alone for right now because I'm not going to get into full gameplay action trying to coordinate everything with all the buttons and things you guys can do in this game. I mean, again, I would typically go with a keyboard or a controller with this type of setting, but if you do want to shoot with this, it definitely is possible. All right, let's go down here. I want to change my weapon slot to, I'll go ahead and put this on the gun. Let's see, next assault ability. No expressions, we don't need any of that. That's walk and crouch, that's evade. So if I was playing on a traditional keyboard, these will be my additional options here, but however I have my keyboard plugged in here. So shoot, mouse, reload. Next weapon. All right, I'll go ahead and make this one of the buttons here. I'll just pick any button since it really doesn't really matter. I'll use this one here in the middle. Hopefully it doesn't give me an error when I'm messing up my bindings, and it didn't. All right, so let's go ahead and keep this simple. We're gonna go ahead and start a little multiplayer game. We'll make it versus. Let's see if we can do horde. Let's do custom. Host private. You know what? I'll go back. I'll do another one. Let's not do horde. Let's do multiplayer. And then we'll do versus, and then we'll create a custom LAN. Then I'll host a game. We'll pick a map. We'll pick clock tower because that one's a real simple one. Then we'll pick game type. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this camera up here so I have another camera angle. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this camera up here so I have another camera angle. Now again, I haven't changed anything. Still plugged in directly to the Xbox. Not being used. Now I was playing this quite some time yesterday. I did notice some, you guys see there's the mouse moving around there. See how hyper it is? Like it's really, really sensitive. So not gonna turn around too much using this. However, it is possible you can turn around and do everything that you need to do on this. But again, it's super hypersensitive, but we will be shooting with the gun. Oh, shoot, he got me. Crap. Should have turned down the respawn time. Ah, crap, it got me again. Yeah, I got one. Hey, wait a minute. That guy just stole my freaking kill. Oh, shoot. Get that guy behind me. Yeah, let's go to the shotty. This will pretty much kill him in one shot. Oh shit, almost had him.
You're good to go.
All right, guys, I'm going to pause it there. We're going to jump over into another game. So let's move on over to, let's play a little bit of Fortnite for just a few minutes so you guys see some footage. Now, again, just so you guys know, I was moving around using this to run because obviously I don't have a button. I have two hands and you still need to move around using the A button just to move and run. But all of my targeting and sensors is done with the gun. Now, if sensitivity wasn't so rapid like it is, then yeah, I mean, I would use this. I could get a little bit more motion out of it. But what I'm going to do, or pretty much the plan is, see if the technology is different between the AE light gun versus the gun for IR in terms of movement and sensitivity, because I've turned it down as much as possible on the Xbox, but no matter what I do, you still get that rapid function. So let's go ahead and bounce on over to Fortnite for a minute. Now, Fortnite has the same type of setup. I haven't spent too much time with it, where you still use a mouse and a keyboard. Now, I do believe it is a little bit more responsive with Fortnite. Maybe it's game independent, I'm not sure, but you guys take a look and you guys be the judge. Now, another thing I have noticed about the AE light gun, yesterday I think I played for about a good 4 or 5 hours, I want to say. And so after those hours, I noticed that some of my button configurations would no longer save, or I could go back into the game and map my reload button and a few other configurations on here. So for example, I had played, I think, Gears of War 5 yesterday for a few hours, and then went back into the settings to see if I could remap some different buttons just to try some different configurations. But however, it wouldn't respond, so I had to close out the game entirely and then go back in and then remap everything. So I'm not sure if that's on the AE light gun side or if that's a mouse and keyboard issue with the game. Not exactly sure where the disconnect may be. And I've never played that specific game with the mouse or keyboard, so that will require some further looking into. But again, I don't know if that was the AE light gun or whatever it is, but I closed out the game and then I was able to remap everything. So just thought I'd let you guys know that was one of the hiccups I did run into after several hours of gameplay. Now, once again, these are the settings that you would typically go into to adjust your sensitivity for your mouse. I mean, this is all basic. If you guys have been playing Fortnite, you know how to hook it up on your computer. You know how to hook it up on the Xbox. All they did was, especially with a lot of these cross-play titles, they've just given you full control over your first-person shooter to have mouse and keyboard instead of having to go with the control. So again, for those of you who are already in the know, this is nothing brand new. And just imagine this is basically this. The only difference is you're moving around this way instead of moving across a mouse pad. But again, the AE Lightgun has much more sensitivity than this right now, and there's no way to really fine-tune this because this is typically not ideal for which it was made. However, it is possible. So let's go ahead and turn down the mouse sensitivity all the way. Let's see if I can. Oh, there we go. Now for this one, I'm just going to use the standard default buttons, whatever they may be. I'm not going to program any of these. This is actually like my third or fourth time playing Fortnite, but I'm not going to program any of the side buttons for any specific function. So. Ah, shoot.
Little Rock, stop killing him. We're just trying to dance over here. Oops. Little Rock, stop killing him. He didn't even do anything to you, bro. Yeah, stop killing him. No, don't. Yeah, okay. Is all the again? You know what? Hey, what's up? I'm right behind you. Right behind someone. Right guys.
All right, guys, I'm done for today. Hopefully you guys get the whole idea of the concept that you can use this. Obviously, and it's not full format, but it is possible to use light gun technology currently on the Xbox One. I don't have a PS4 or a PS5. Let me exit out of this. Now, I'm not sure about the PS4, the PS5. I do know that I did try this on the PS3, which does accept mouse and keyboard inputs, but it doesn't work the same way. I mean, in fact, the mouse shot all the way over to the right side of the screen when I did that in my brief demonstration. All in all, I just wanted you guys to see it for yourselves. We'll be uploading this video fully unedited with, obviously, I got some, a few inserts and everything that's there. But again, let me know what you think. We do have the AE Lightgun fully working as a mouse and keyboard. So, and for those of you wondering, like, hey, well, Keo, I saw you were using your joystick to kind of run around and all that other stuff. Well, then yeah, because even if I was using this as a mouse and keyboard, I would typically play like this. I move around like this, and then I shoot with my mouse and keyboard, or my mouse over on my left hand. So this is typically how I play. Now, traditional players, they're right-handed. They play on this side, moving their mouse around, and then they use the WASD F keys to move around, and then of course they use the mouse to shoot. But me, I use this format, so instead of that, it's more or less like this. You're running around like this, and then you would shoot at the screen with your left hand or using the light gun. Now, again, you can turn around with the AE light gun as far as full movement, but as I've said, I want to make sure I say this explicitly for those of you not paying attention. It's too freaking sensitive right now. But if there was a sensitivity control, which is why I'm going to try the Gun 4 IR to see if it reacts differently than the AE light gun, then we'll see, and then we'll go from there. So again, I did talk to Ray. He said if the AE light gun works, then he wouldn't see a reason why the Gun 4 IR wouldn't work either, because it's almost the same technology. I'm not familiar with the boards and everything that's in there. But I will try that out. I'm picking up some Gun 4 IRs, 2, maybe a pedal. We'll see exactly what I can do as far as compatibility. But yeah, guys, just wanted to give you guys this brief demonstration. This was so you guys could see it for yourself as far as where it is. Well, I'm not going to completely call it light gun technology. It's a basic mouse function. So if you guys are familiar with how to hook up a mouse to an Xbox, I mean, honestly, this shouldn't be of any question for you. Again, the games inside will fully let you, the games that are capable, of course, will fully let you remap the buttons as you need to on your mouse. So consider subscribing to the channel. I also have a Patreon. I definitely want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreons who consider subscribing and continuously subscribe and donate on a monthly basis so you guys can see content like this. I'm sure you won't find this anywhere else, and that's exactly why my channel exists. And people were questioning me about this, and that's fine. But remember, I'm the same guy that waterproofs and salt waterproofs technology for the hell of it. And I'm also the same guy that helped get you guys Retropie working on the Pi 4 back in, well, you know when it was. I don't even think we need to go into question about that. So again, first time you guys are watching this here on the channel, light gun connectivity and sensitivity, or whatever it is you guys want to call it, demonstrated on the Xbox One. You guys all have a good day. Leave your comments below. Catch you later. Bye. Oh yeah, almost forgot. We got the Nintendo Switch OLED with House of the Dead. So that's another light gun project I'm getting ready to start on. So make sure you like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell, because the object of that is going to be getting this so you can use it in a light gun format with the Chronos Zen. Obviously this does work with the Dolphin Bar or Wii Remote thing or whatever, but personally I don't think that the House of the Dead will respond with the light gun format as it should be, because it's gyro controlled. But I don't know, I did play House of the Dead with the Nintendo Switch, and it moves funky. It doesn't jitter as a typical light gun format normally would. It's not as sensitive. You guys just watch me with the AE light gun, but it has its own setup. So Even if I can get this to work, or even if you could get a light gun to work with House of the Dead for the Nintendo Switch, I don't think it will act as a light gun or respond the way that it should because of how the game was made. So we'll check it out, see what happens.